Sao Paulo. Miller's next fight will be a record-breaking one. On Saturday, Miller will become the first person to reach the 28 fight mark under the UFC banner. The record is currently shared with ex-champs Tito Ortiz and Frank Mir, who both parted ways with the promotion, and current middleweight champion Michael Bisping, who'll get his 28 th octagon outing when he meets ex-champ Georges St-Pierre in a UFC 217 title bout. As Miller 28-10 MMA 179 UFC, whose record also includes a 2013 no contest with Pat Healy, prepares to face Brazil's own Francisco Trinaldo 215 MMA 114 UFC en hopefully snap a 2-fight losing skid at UFC Fight Night 119. As aware of what he's about to accomplish, does it carry any special meaning? Though it does and it doesn't, Miller told Mad Junkie during a media day ahead of the event, where he fights in an FS1 televised main card bout at Ibirapuera Gymnasium in Sao Paulo. It's not what he set out to do, but right now I am tied with a group of gentlemen that I have a lot of respect for and that have really left their mark on the sport and the organization. So it's kind of pulling the lead a little bit. Bisping is going to catch back up, but it is cool. It's definitely a feather on the cap and if he been able to do it in a pretty fast time compared to those other guys. Bisping was in the UFC a few years before he was. In any case, it wouldn't take a record for Miller to be excited about the encounter. First of all, he's happy he ever gets to do it after a period in which getting matched up against anyone either at lightweight or welterweight was proving to be quite the difficult task, but also he gets to add another first in his record, a fight in Brazil. Miller has visited the country once before back in 2011, but it was in support of his brother Dan, who met Rousey maar Palhares at UFC 134 in Rio de Janeiro. For Miller, who was captivated by the intensity inside the arena then, that was an added reason to take this one on. He wanted that and he wanted to experience it. Miller said I've been really excited for this fight and just the experience overall. When you've been a UFC fighter for more than 10 years, there aren't that many fears, but there's another one that Miller is hoping to one day get a title shot at 34. Miller said the fire of one day holding a belt is still very much alive in his heart, and despite currently sitting on a 2-fight skid, he doesn't think that's too crazy of an idea. The sport's all about timing. He said, you look at just Kevin Lee getting the opportunity to fight for the interim title. He was ranked no 7, he was ranked 3 and 4, and he didn't get my shot. He was 91 in the organization, and there was just injury and rematch after things just didn't span out for me at that time, and he had ups and downs a little bit. It really just comes down to timing and being able to grasp that golden ring while you have the opportunity. You know that he can compete with any of those guys. It's just a matter of showing up and being myself. I am going to keep doing this as long as he can and keep going out there and fighting as hard as he can. To hear from Miller, check out the video above, and for more on UFC Fight Night 119, check out the UFC rumors section of the site.